Hello and welcome to the JTrain podcast. This is JTrain, Freid, coming live from the West Village of Manhattan. It's a Chit Chat Wednesday, and we have a very special guest today, Liza Treyger. Her special is out on Netflix right now. It came out last night. I want you to go watch it. I want you to go enjoy it. It is hilarious. I opened for the special taping. You're going to love it. And Liza's been a friend of the podcast since the beginning. So she's been on a million times, and you've gotten to watch her go through the career just like I'm going through the career. And a lot of this episode is about that and just what it's like to be a comedian these days and what, concerns us, the stresses we have, and how much we both love it. And how much we both love doing stand-up. And you can hear that when I talk to Liza on this episode. And you're going to see the product of that when you go watch her special. So I want you to go watch her special. Put it in the queue. We want you to watch it early because that helps Liza. And we want you to enjoy. So go watch it. Enjoy this interview with Liza. It kind of takes you behind the scenes of what it's like to have a Netflix special come out. Enjoy today's episode. Boom. Welcome to the new JTrain podcast. Hello and welcome to the JTrain podcast. This is JTrain, Freid, coming to you live from the West Village of Manhattan. That's right, every Wednesday is a Chit Chat Wednesday. It's a very special Chit Chat Wednesday because I am joined by my good friend, comedian, and the newest proprietor, is that the right word? The newest Netflix Hour comedian, Netflix's own, Liza Treyger. The special's out. Welcome to the show. Thank you for coming back.
Thank you.
We wanted the first interview.
Yes, for post. I mean, I'm probably hungover. If you're listening to this on that Wednesday, the 29th, I'm hungover. Yeah,
because it came out Tuesday. It's called Night Owl, right?
Yeah, and I'll show you here right on camera. You get the exclusive for my party. Look at all these Night Owl bracelets I've made.
Oh, like Taylor Swift bracelets.
Yeah. I mean, this is a lot.
This is hilarious. So, someone, here's the thing about a Netflix special. To some people, they're like, wow, you are a celebrity now. And those people would be surprised to find out that you were hand-making bracelets for your release party. They'd be like, what? Doesn't she have a team that does that? Yeah, no.
No, I have a whole station. I also made a Luigi bracelet just for me.
Well, as you know, last time when you said you made your plea to kill all the rich people, we know that you're a big Luigi fan. Well, hold on. Let's get the plug city away.
Night Owl, Netflix, and it's exciting. You have a Netflix special, and you know what it means. It's like having an hour is already an accomplishment wherever it goes, but there is something with the brand name.
It is the ultimate credibility. It is
but they've also ruined our industry. It's like so funny. It's like all I want. It's like all I want is Netflix. I want people to see worldwide. I want to be in the top 10. I'm in a TV show on Netflix. Like, to me, it's everything. Mm-hmm. But then I'm also like, God, you guys really fucked us. You fucked the industry so big.
They have us by the metaphorical balls because there's one place to go, really, if you think about it. Like there's other places, but
the others keep trying. I'm sure all our friends who got Hulu specials got a lot of money.
Right. Well, that's the thing. They try and then they put a lot of money into it and they realize that Netflix kind of has, the right idea where, these are cheaply made. That, it doesn't cost a lot of money to make a stand-up special. I just made my own again, so if I can do it individually, me living in a shoebox in the West Village can do it. This is pennies on the dollar to them. But for the opportunity to get you on there, new content, so to speak, but also, this is there's to the listeners, the viewers on YouTube, what we want you to do is whatever you can to help Liza have this change her life, so, and this is the thing, you can't.
Yeah, don't you all want me on Hot Ones?
Right.
Like, this is what we're working towards.
Right. We want Liza on Hot Ones, tears streaming down her face on Wing 3. Okay. So are you good with spicy?
No, but I want to be on that show so bad because I love questions. I love good questions. He has such good questions that and I'm jealous of people with spice. So I've been training for years.
I did it.
I'm really sensitive, and I have I have a geographic tongue. Do you see it?
What's a
Like I have
geographic tongue?
like I have really deep ridges.
Oh, really? So that does
Uh,
that mean you feel it more? Oh my God.
yeah, like it goes, my taste buds aren't there, so it goes straight into my tongue.
Okay.
I have these like ridges in my tongue, but I can have jalapenos now with nachos.
Okay.
I
So
use
you're
the
working way up.
fire Taco Bell sauce. I used to not even use sauce. I went from mild to fire in the last few months. Um, I've been pushing myself. I've been pushing myself.
I've done a Hot Ones.
No,
I
how would I
did a
know?
live one at Penn State. They needed a quote unquote celeb guest.
Okay.
And he did a show at Penn State, not taped. And I was his guest. He's the nicest guy. He's like Sean Evans. You meet this guy, you're like, you're a billionaire. Like, he's a great business person. He owns all the sauces.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
so he's like selling the sauces, doing the YouTube, they just got sold for like huge money. This guy, and it couldn't have happened to a nicer person. Like, my interaction with him was like all positive. We went out afterwards. We went drinking
Wait,
after
so how
doing,
did you do on the wings though? Like
I
he's
got
nice.
through it
How were the
all.
questions? Were they as personal as they are on the show, or did
Nah, it was like, he did like what I would call plain research. Like,
Yeah.
he did a quick Google on me. Like, he's asking me, he's like, so the charcuterie, the Bachelor came up a lot, but I wore Penn State like garb, like all white, and I just kept disrobing every wing. I'd take off another piece of clothing until I was like basically naked on stage, and then I ate all the wings, and he tells you like it's Da Bomb is the famous wing.
yeah.
If you watch the show, there's the eighth wing, and he tells you, he goes, the eighth wing is when things like change, and you just have to get from 8 to 10. But like you when you get to 8, and I'm like chugging milk, and he's like, some people have a milk problem more than a wing problem. Like, and he was right. Like, my stomach the next day, I could not leave my apartment. Like, I flew back the next morning and like debilitated. But no one's
Yeah,
better
all
at
the
interrupting her
celebs.
own plug than Liza Treyger. Hold on.
No, but
I
all
didn't
the
even.
celebs are so funny because at the end they're always like, I should make my PR person do this. Like
Right.
they're all livid. Like truly, like all the famous ones are like, why am I doing this?
Che
Like, my
did
life
it.
is-
I texted Che, and he was like, eat a banana. He said you need like fiber to like make sure your stomach. It's so much more worse the next day than it is in the moment. In the moment it hurts, but it's like you can get through it. I was like, could not move from my apartment. Like, I couldn't be more than 10 feet away from a toilet. And you want, not to be too crude, but like you want to shit, but you can't. And it's
'Cause it
like,
burns?
no, it's just like stuck there. Like, I don't know. I
And
would
it's
do it
stuck.
again.
That's what Cardi B's song's about. When it's up and it's stuck.
That's what it's about.
Yeah, Fallon asked her what it's about, and it's like, when you're going to the bathroom, and she explains it, and that's what that song's about.
That
Unless she was being
is-
funny on Fallon, but
That's hilarious. If true, hilarious. So listen, okay, enough about Hot Ones. I want to make sure. Lisa, here's the thing that I think we tiptoe around this. Like, don't. My advice to you is not to tiptoe. If you're listening, watching right now, just go on Netflix and turn on the special. Go turn it on. The first 30 days are very important for how Netflix tracks this. So if you're like, I'll get to it next year. Okay, that's nice, but you didn't really help an artist. Like, you are helping an artist by clicking the thumbs up and going and watching in that first week. First month is nice. First week is quite a mitzvah you're doing to Liza Treyger, but it's not even a mitzvah. It's not even a good deed. She did a fantastic hour. I opened for it.
oh yeah,
I
you'll hear
know
Jared's
the hour.
voice.
You'll hear
You'll
my
hear Jared's
voice.
in
So
the intro.
I know the jokes. They're all funny. You're going to laugh. There's no preaching. There's no there's no bullshit that you see in a lot of these specials. This is like original, funny, amazing. So
No, I did one interview, and they're like, "What do you want this special to convey?" And I was like, I just want people to have a good time. I just want people to
Right.
laugh. I go, if there's a feminist nugget someone takes away through the rape material, sure. But
just casually, yeah, if the rape material, hits you a certain way.
But
yeah.
I just want people to laughing. Like I just want people like in their comfy clothes on the couch, edible, takeout with someone, or like I just want people, or in their
We want-
beds.
that
Like,
is
I
the
want
thing-
people to have a good time. There's no like I'm not trying to get canceled. I'm not like,
No.
fuck freedom of speech. Like, there's nothing like that. I'm just wearing pink and I want people to have a good time. It's my
That's
life's
what makes
work.
me so angry at like comedy sometimes. You're like, these bad actors or whoever tries to take over the conversation. It's like
Yeah.
people who are doing it. Like I just saw like a video of this guy who's like a former agent. Now he's doing comedy. He was like doing like a fuck like all the Rogan bros like rant. And he's like, you got to go check out these people. I'm like, you mean go to the Comedy Cellar? Like he's like just telling people like to go to. He's like naming people we see at the Comedy Cellar every night, and it's like when we were like coming up and trying to figure it out, it was like, who did you kill or did you not? It wasn't like did you get across your feminist message? No one asked that question.
No, we're supposed to be saying something. I mean, what's difficult now with the people that are like dominating our industry, like the Rogan Bros, the fascism, the fascism foes. I would
Fascist
say,
bros.
I would say, well, they're not funny, but what was my point? This is like,
Good one, got him. I would say,
I lost my mind. But they, God, it's just not even funny.
I had someone come on stage and take a picture with me, and he was like alone, and he was like, he just had a good time at the show.
Oh, this is what I wanted to say.
Ahead.
I'm so sorry. It's the whole thing with comedy when you think of like the history and what we do. It's like we want to have a good time. You talk about your family, but you want a new perspective. You want to like surprise people with how funny you are, a new idea, or like a new way to look at something, or taking something sad or not popular and twisting it that it's funny.
Right.
And what I feel about the leaders of our industry right now, the moneymakers, the people that are like at the Republican conventions, is like they're hacks too. Like they are antithesis to comedy. Like they are with the power. Like the whole thing is we're losers. Like I hate like I'm cool. Like comedy's not cool.
Right.
Like
Well,
I do like the fashion girlies. I like the fashion girlies. I like people looking cute. I like people having fun. But like at the end of the day, there's something about the like we're supposed to be the outsiders looking in and observing. And the people make like the Rogan Bros, it's like you are on the president's side. It's so lame.
It
Lame.
is.
That's the word. They're lame.
It does feel lame. Colin Quinn, that's something he says all the time. Is like when comedy's cool, it's at its worst.
Yeah.
He says that a lot, and this is like a legendary, person in comedy saying that. And something else you said is very true. It's like it's considered. I get this a lot. Like when someone's like, "What do you talk about?" and I'm like, I tell stories from my life. I talk about my family, and I tell stories. I don't know how to explain it. Like. And then they're like, oh, so you stay away from politics. You stay safe. And I'm like, I think talking about politics is the safest way to go. You know who agrees with you. You know will get people's attention. You're like, to say Joe Biden is dead, like that joke is like.
It's also not staying away. I think a lot of times when people ask the questions or put something on you, it's what they would do or how they would do it. But it's like, I'm not trying to do anything. I am a comic. I am naturally amazing. Like, I have fun. I don't have to, because I remember with one comic who's a friend of ours, like something came out, he's like, well, you got to write about this. I go, you don't.
No, you don't.
You don't. You don't even know one trans person. Like, stop. You don't have to.
You
don't have to have an opinion. And I'm scared. Like, I don't think politics is funny to me. Like, I'm not
I'm
giggling.
with you.
Like,
I started
read
doing
the news. Oh my God, I have a life.
Right, it sounds
I have
horrific.
A full life.
Read. So, I like even this week. I had a thing. I talked about it on Coffee with JTrain. If you guys are Patreon subscribers, go sign up. But I basically talked about like someone messaged me that.
For Turmoil Tuesday.
It's
and frickin'
ticked off
Fridays.
Tuesday. Okay, Mailbag Monday, Pop Culture Thursday. So
you are adult Sesame Street.
I make it easy for people. Okay, yeah. 1, 2. That's the count. So
he's at Sesame Street though.
Is he Sesame? Okay, good.
Oh, yeah. Where else would the count live?
Muppets? No, you're right. Sesame.
Yeah.
So someone DM me. you should, I know you don't do politics, but you should talk about the Elon Nazi salute. And I'm like, should? Like, what do you mean should? First of all, I was already doing a joke about it. I do think that is funny. The idea that like
the two jokes you had, what we were at the bar, just shooting the shit was I liked them, and I repeated them the next day to someone. I go, "Oh, Jared was being funny."
Right. So like that, I think those like if I have
that's
a take,
how most of my jokes happen. It's like I'm with someone, something happens, I go, "Oh, that's fucking funny." I gotta, like that's
right. That's
not
funny. It's not like
I gotta talk about the Congress.
Right. Well, then I see people who are talking about the Elon salute, and I'm like, how did you get here? You're not Jewish. You don't seem to do politics ever. Like, and then I'm like annoyed that they're even talking about it. Like,
oh yeah,
you know,
unless
like
it's something fun and new. Like that's what's
right.
Even if it's like, I agree, disagree. Like whether, let's say it's like racist and about beating your wife, and it's like not my vibe.
Sure.
If it's funny, I'm gonna laugh. Like,
make
me laugh. I would love to laugh at fucked up shit. Like that is my favorite thing to do. I love roasts. I love it. I love that. So but it's just like they're hack too. It's like, ugh. That's why conservatives just aren't good at comedy, because they can't. You have to dig deep, and it's something different. You got to do something new. I don't know. There's something that like is conservatism and comedy don't really work well.
I think you can do it if you work. I think it's just, again, the idea of hack.
But also super left is lame too. Anything where you're like, the point and the belief is above the punchline.
Right.
I'm never going to get behind.
Because, and I guess the words I'm trying to put to that is like, they get to like do it under the idea that they are a counterculture. Like, and they're not. Like, it is false counterculturism. Like, and again, that's left or right.
They're counterculture because they're very short, ugly men. JK, that was rude. You should.
I just think it's when you go way left, way right. Not to like everyone, but it's like you get to like sound like you're doing something brave when it's not actually that brave. I think that's. No,
you know what would
annoying.
Be brave? Jim Norton's brave. You know what's brave? Going up there and going, "I suck trans dicks." That's brave.
Jim Norton
going, ew, trans, that's gross. Yeah, that's okay. Go back to 60 years. Like, what are you talking? I just watched a clip from 1993, a talk show where it's all these trans people on stage and people from the audience being like, "Why are you doing this?" and not understanding. That's 1993.
Right.
Dog Day Afternoon was about Al Pacino robbing a bank to get his trans girlfriend a surgery in the 70s, nominated for Oscars. And now you're like, what are you talking about? Like, it's like their idea of what brave is crazy too. Oh, you want to go in front of at the convention and talk about how black people like watermelon? That's from the 20s.
Right.
Like, what are we talking about?
Right. It's funny. Like someone could look at this and that's the thing. Like,
they don't even have to be creative. Like, if you know black people, if you're friends with black people, you can make jokes about black people because you know them, and there's very intricate, cool things that happen and then you can write a joke about your actual life experience with your friends. That makes sense. But like, you have no one like this in your life. Who is this even based on?
I wonder.
One comic that talks about relationships. When he starts talking about girls, I go, "This isn't real." I go, "This cannot be real."
I listen.
Do you think you know who I'm talking about?
I could think of 7 people.
This is who I'm with.
Yeah,
like, this girl on the date said this to me. I'm like, no shit, that's not real. That can't be real.
Right. Well, relationship stuff, like I always have like my ears pop up for relationship jokes, and I'm like, just because I'm like, where is this coming from? What's the take? And I'm like, there's people that tell me, that I watch, and I'm like, you never had a girlfriend, you never went on a date, you've never been on a dating app, you never been, like, and I'm watching this, and I'm like. But again, this is all to say, like, we're offended as comedians. This isn't like, I hate that joke. It's I hate that you're getting credit for such an easy, stupid, not funny joke. Like, and that's why, like, I watched your special and, I'm hosting for it. I'm getting the crowd ready, and it's laughs. It's fun. It's subjects that are personal to you. You're talking about how you're the translator for your family. Like you're talking about how your parents move here from Russia. You are now the little kid translator who's like helping them get along in a new country. Like, what is more interesting, funny than that. Like, you can see all the players. I can see your dad. I can see that it comes from a place of like care and love, and like it's all there. And like it's interesting that we'll be on the same show and we'll see 5 people do the same job in totally different ways. And there's like, it's like junk food versus like eating an apple. Like, how full does it make you? So like, I think everyone.
It's authenticity, like some people do need to write everything out word for word. Some people need to be this. Some people, like, we're all different, no, not like that, but authenticity, originality, like fun. I don't know.
Right.
It's like, this should be fun at the end of the day. Like, you shouldn't want to, like, the point of comedy shouldn't be to like hang out with Elon Musk. Like, what the fuck is going on? We're in a twilight zone. Someone had this Instagram story where it's like, at least fascism back in the day had some boots, had some sex appeal. Like, you fucking losers. You dress like shit. You're so lame. Like, fuck.
What else is going on before? Okay, it's Chit Chat Wednesday.
I'm honestly being so lazy. Like,
how excited are you? Hold on, before we get into it, I gotta pay my bills. I gotta, okay, listen.
Oh, I'm also on the road.
Well, I want to ask you about that. That. If you're constantly running out of time, you're probably looking for any life hack you can find.
Oh, this kind.
Factor is a shortcut that's going to change the game. They send chef-made gourmet meals right to your door that take just 2 minutes to prepare. Just pop them in the microwave or on a skillet and you're ready to go. I've had Factor. It's delicious. Here's the thing. If you're trying to be healthy, it's about portion size and it's about creativity. You are bad at going to the market and buying the right amount of food. You are also bad at cooking. So you got 2 moves when you're trying to be healthy. You got grilled chicken and you got salmon. Factor is going to give you 30 different moves, and that's going to keep you healthier longer. That's going to keep you eating the way you want to eat for a longer amount of time. So I'm just a huge believer in Factor. I love what they're doing. The meals are delicious. I've had them. You can even lose up to 8 pounds in 8 weeks with Factor's keto meals. Just heat it up and chow down with 40 meal options across 8 dietary preferences on the menu each week. There's always something new to love. So listen, 40 different things that you could be eating throughout the course of the week. Like, you're just going to do it longer. You're going to like it. It's delicious. Eat smart with Factor. Get started at factormeals.com/JTrain50off and use code JTrain50off to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. That's code JTrain50off at factormeals.com/JTrain50off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. So one sponsor today, it is in the description of this episode. We're here with Liza Treyger. The special is called Night Owl. It is out on Netflix right now. We want you to watch it ASAP. It is most helpful if you watch it in the first week and hit the thumbs up. We want it trending. We want people talking about it. This is the way it works. This is the ask from us. What do you get in exchange for that? You get to laugh for an hour. Like, what's better than that? So there is an exchange of goods for services here. Are you ready to go on the road? Do you have new material?
I do. Moving to New York's amazing. We love doing comedy here in New York. This is kind of like such a comedy-focused Chit Chat Wednesday.
I know. Well, we got to talk. I'm trying to get people.
I do.
The passion to me is important. I wonder how the listener relates to it. Like, I do wonder.
We love what we do. We love what we do.
Right.
I wouldn't say I'm a snob, but like, yeah, I like who I like, and we see people. Because I always hate also the thing when comedians are like, but we're comics, we have to have each other's back. It's like, no, I know you. I don't like you. I've sat with you at a table for 7 years. This is not having your back because you do comedy too. I'll give you maybe. I know you. I saw you cheat on your wife. Like, what are we doing here?
But if you the thing is, when people ask me where to go, what should I watch, I have names ready to go for them.
Yeah,
and you go check these out. Like, and listen, when I have guests on here, like, this is me saying this person does a great job. Like, that is me.
How many guests have you had on that you didn't like?
Very few.
Yeah.
It's not like me to say no to people. If someone asks me, I'm usually like, let's do it. Like, why not?
Well, yeah, because you don't like when people say no to you. That's for sure. You don't like that. You get offended. So I feel like that's why you
Why
are
shouldn't I get
very
offended? Should I
open.
not get offended? I know how easy it is for me to say yes.
No, I
So
know, but it's like the classic thing. Like usually, because I do this, like I feel uncomfortable. Like I used to feel if you're ever an outsider in any kind of capacity, like when I see someone being uncomfortable or like not being included, my part, like in my heart, I want to go do it. And I have to tell myself, I'm not responsible for them. You do not have to include, like, live your life, be in the moment. But like, I always have this kind of urge to make sure, like, ask a question or, like, I do.
right.
It makes me uncomfortable.
You don't think it's offensive to like I'm sure you've had this. Don't you ask
Well, I
people
have, but
go?
you know what? Well, you know what my PR person told me? She goes, because I'm like, oh God, all these guys, they just so, and she goes, it seems like you fight with a lot of these people. I go, honestly, you're right. She goes, yeah, you can't like fight with people and talk shit about them and then ask them to be on your pod, be on their pod.
Right.
And so that's personal to me.
Well, that's personal to you. I mean,
And I
for
went,
me,
oh yeah, I guess I did call your friend a rapist. I guess you don't want me on your pod.
we might not align on the
Yeah.
on a fun chit
No,
chat about it, but
for you,
I've
it's also the
had
bullshit. It's like you have like extend yourself without knowing someone or been like, oh yeah, of course I'll have your back, and then to have someone like ghost or not, of course that would be.
I'm saying like yeah, I have a menu of hundreds of people I've had on.
Yeah.
So when I don't have that returned, when I wasn't doing that to have it returned, I did it in the idea of like, let's have fun. Let's, and always promoting when people come on. I don't like.
It's also crazy because You Up is like in the top 20.
You Up does well.
Very popular podcast.
Well, then I'm like, I have a thing in my head. I was like, do people think I'm holding You Up, away from them? It's like, that's just, I don't have the ability to put it's a different show. So
yeah, thank God
I do what I can. The thing is,
you have to be on SVU because people will be like, let me do your pod. I go, you got to get on SVU first, babe. You got to be on SVU.
Right. Do a bit part on SVU and you're on. Like, that's an easy booking. Yeah. Murder someone, but on SVU, not in real life. Yeah. That's okay. So you have new material. You're going on the road.
I do. Yeah. Like, I took the summer off. Like, that's why I wanted to also film it in June because I've been ready. I've been doing comedy for 15 years. It's my first hour. So it was just like, when I found out in February, I was like, let's get this going and let's do a summer in New York. I moved back to New York. I'm living but also took nights off, went to the beach, had barbecue, like lived.
Did you date at all?
I don't date. It's honestly one of the biggest problems in my life. And I think I have to start therapy immediately. Like I've actually had some free time because I thought I was going to be in LA and like I didn't know what press was going to look like. So I didn't put in for as many spots as I normally do.
Right.
And so I've had kind of a couple nights off and I'm like, a normal person would be dating. You should be dating. You should be out. You should be going out. And it is like one of the like biggest kind of hinders in my life. Like I really, there's obviously like a huge block in my being.
Well, what are you looking for?
I'm like perpetually single, but I'm also I'm not out and about. And I feel it's like obviously a reflection of how I'm feeling about myself or like what's going on. But like, I just can't, but it's also it's never been easy for me. And obviously it's me, but I'm also like, it's not like people are like, it's not like I'm pushing people away.
Right.
Like for the love of God, if someone approached me, I would be thrilled. Like, you know what I mean? So at this point, it's like, yeah, it's fucking depressing, but like, I'm tired of being rejected and not getting what I want. And I want someone to like make a move. Like, I don't know, but I'm also not out. I don't go out.
Right. Are you no apps?
No, because I don't like that. I don't like it.
Right.
I like if I'm on like for me, it's just also, it's like all not successful. Obviously I'm a big part of that.
What would be your dream scenario? Like a guy or girl comes up to you after a show and is like, let's get a drink?
Not even a show, just like anywhere. Like when I was at the Met, like if someone came up to me while I was at the Met, like, I would fucking love it. You know what I mean? Like I go places. I go to backgammon night. I go to the domino night. Like
right,
I do go
things.
out. I am
Simpsons
trying to
trivia.
Do it. Yes, I'm out and about. Like I'm going to this thing tonight. Like I don't date, but I am out and about. So it's obviously what I'm giving off, or it's just like nobody likes me, and that's
well.
fine
No,
too.
this is like an issue that you hear from a lot of people, and it's like I get asked a lot.
I do interrupt you a lot, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry to the listeners.
Ahead.
I know they're here for you.
No, this is.
I went out with
They know it's a Liza Treyger episode.
And I've been doing so many podcasts, so I have been repeating myself a lot. But I went out with Sydney and Marie, and very beautiful girls.
Yeah.
Very
Sydney
hot,
Sydney and Maria are beautiful and striking.
striking. Yeah,
Yes.
fashion forward.
Right.
I mean, they're also like personality
State
galore.
personality, but like they walk in a room, a statement is being made. Like people will turn. Yeah.
So hanging out with them, I'm like, wow, to live a life like this. Like, fuck. I wish
Right.
I knew this when I was younger. I would have started getting surgery. I would have done whatever I needed to do to have that life. Because I was like, geez. We were just we did the pod, we took the train, we went to dinner, we walked around,
Were
and it
people
was
like
just
coming up
like
to them?
yeah, and it wasn't recognized from their success because they are successful and they get recognized for that too. This was
Right.
straight up
They've both
like
been on this
groups of
podcast. Yeah.
teens like you look gorgeous. Oh my God, your
Right.
hair. Oh, look at you. Like everywhere we went. And that's also a special thing. There's an in between, but like it was just like wild. And
I
I
was
go out
talking
with
about
them a
this.
lot, but it was something in the day where I was just like, and then she goes, I like men that wear these certain brands. So I'm going to start going to the stores and browsing and see who I meet. You should do that. And I go, honey, they would ask me to leave. They'd go,
What,
ma'am, you need to leave. You've been here a little too
ma'am?
long circling and you need
Ma'am,
to leave.
this Carhartt is closing soon. Ma'am, if you please buy your work gloves and leave.
Yeah. Have you seen The Substance?
What's that?
It's the Demi Moore movie. That's like she just won a Golden Globe for and nominated for an Oscar.
No.
I
What's
think
it
you should
about?
watch it.
Okay.
It's like it's really, it's one of the best movies I've ever seen. While I was sitting
Okay.
in the theater, I went, this is what movie going is about.
What's
But
the
it's about
premise?
Demi Moore is like an aged out, famous, sexy woman,
Uh-huh.
and she takes the substance to
Okay.
become younger or hotter version of herself, but there's obviously caveats and rules, and she can't because she craves more and more. And it's like the different
Right.
ways women are treated. But Dennis Quaid's in it. The sound is amazing. It's just like visually different too, unique, cool
Okay.
color. It's cool.
So
It's like
it's like that
cool.
Bradley Cooper movie where he takes the pill and he can like use his whole brain. But like
With
it's similar
Lucy.
in the sense
I
that
would say
like
Death Becomes Her. I don't know about this
okay.
Bradley Cooper, but less comedy. It's just, I mean, she's about to win an Oscar and she's been in this business. She's
Right.
62 years old, been in this business for decades. And Margaret Qualley plays the younger her.
I I was on a group chat and she came on at the Golden Globes, like a college group chat, and the guy that I went to college with was like, Demi Moore looks pretty good. And I'm like, oh really? Like it was like like one of my buddies.
I saw her in person like 6 years ago, and she came to talk. She was at a show, so she came to talk to me. And
You saw Demi Moore
yeah,
and she came up to you.
yeah.
And what did she say?
We were chit-chatting, and honestly I would have changed my life that night, but like I was visiting LA, so it was a quick convo and I had a spot at one of the clubs. I had to go to my spot, and looking back I should have never gone to my spot and hung out with Demi Moore all night.
Right. Well, this is how crazy we are about comedy. We're like, hey, Demi, gotta go. I have to go do 15 minutes at a fish taco place.
Yes. But
Gotta
even
gotta
this
get
week
moving.
I had like a famous new friend come to the cellar, and I was like,
Yes.
yeah, reserve a ticket. And Jared's like, you're telling her to reserve a ticket. I go, I just don't, I try not to fuck around
Liza
with
told someone with 5 million Instagram followers to go make a reservation. As if that's like what you would do. Like if someone said to me, again, like I have people with 0 Instagram followers. I'm like, I'll put your name in. I got you, whatever. But like,
But I
I
told you
just wouldn't.
I did. I go, hey, let me know if you need help reserving.
Okay,
And then she goes, I want my date to do it. And I went, okay.
She was
And
with
then
a
of course
date,
it's sold out.
of course, and the date. Let me just say, didn't look like the reservation making type. Like, he didn't look like a guy that was like going to be ahead of, on Resi getting the dinner reservations.
Yeah. It was but she's cool. I wanted her to be there for sure, but but my other friend, the cellar is different. Like every other place is different than the cellar as well because the cellar is just it's 9 to 12 shows a night. It's a lot of moving pieces. It's a lot
Right.
of people and it's a lot of people working hard. And so any kind of fork or an annoying person you don't know what's going to happen or how someone will behave or if someone's drunk, and it's our workplace, and that's what
I
people
know.
forget. It's not a chill party spot. It is a place I really value in my life.
I've had this happen. I had someone
Yeah.
from The Bachelor reach out and they're like, "We want to come," and I like got them tickets, and then I walk in and the manager's like, "We've had to ask your Bachelor friends to be quiet 3 times," and I was like so upset by this. Like, I did you guys a favor, like a small favor. It's not a big favor, but also like I brought you into my home. And now they're asking. And then I went on stage and I was like, maybe they're just like only here to see me. I went on stage and they were talking through my set too. And these are people who like, it's interesting because it's like I look at them now. Like, if you come to the cellar and you don't, and I help you and you act like that, I can't look at you the same way again. If you treat comedians badly, like I am like, I go, that is like family. Like those are people that are doing the same thing as me or putting themselves out there. These people, and I see them like they have like a following. They have people that like love them. And I'm like, I can't even respect them. Like I can't.
Yeah.
And it is, I hate that I'm like so affected. Like I wish I was not as
because it's
affected
bad.
as I
This
get.
happened to me. I had this like Fox executive want to come, like not, from, the scripted side, not the news. You know what I mean? Like a woman
Rupert Murdoch was like, get me into the cellar. Yeah.
No, but it felt like, of course, I'm going to try to get this person in that cast shows like I act, and so. And Aaron, when he used to work there, he ran upstairs and he was like, "Oh my God, your friends." I go, "They're not my friends. Get them the fuck out of here. Kick them out.
Kick
I'm
them
like,
out.
Those aren't my friends." And then outside, they tried being kind of coy with me, and I go, "I heard you weren't behaving." She goes, "Oh, they were crazy." I go, "I heard you were talking."
Right.
I go,
Whose side do you think we're on?
I don't need to be either. Well, that's the thing. That's actually what it is. That's that classist shit. That's why I don't want to go out of my way for someone with 5 million followers. Even though she's cool and I like her, it is this thing of like, the more we embolden these people, the more they act crazy. And I will not be a part of it. Obviously, if I see Miley Cyrus or like, I'll be weird. I'm not saying I'm this perfect person, but like, I don't want to give in to that. But also this happened to me once when I was taping my half hour for Netflix. And again, people forget it's our job. Like, it is work. We do work really hard. And there's moments where it's party. I can be drunk on stage. It's whatever. And there's times where it's in place. It's just all different.
I understand it's confusing. Like, what we do is fun. I understand it's the mix of alcohol and jokes and party. And it's a weird mix. But at the end of the day, I do understand someone being like, oh, this is your work. Oh, you do. Like our job is to make these jokes seem like we just like, thought of it that minute. Like if you do a good job at that, then it could be confusing that like, oh, I guess I acted up. I didn't realize I was at a place of business, like.
Well, so I had kind of an old, like a distant friend, closer maybe in Chicago, doesn't do comedy. And they were like, "I'm gonna fly to Vegas for your thing." And I go, "Okay, but I'm like working. Like it's not like I'm not going." She's like, "I'm coming." And I'm like, "Okay, but like I was trying to be as clear as I could."
So you're going to Vegas to tape this thing, The Deplorables, which was like
degenerates. But
Degenerates. Sorry, they did it. Whatever. They did a half-hour series on Netflix where it was like a bunch of comedians doing dirty comedy, and and they made this whole set. It was like beautiful. And I remember you went out there to tape it, and then this woman contacts you as like, I'm making a trip out of this. And what bothers me about that is like, this isn't support. I'm here to support you. No. You're here to bother me. You're here for your vacation, and I'm honored you're making my taping a part of your vacation. But like, don't be my problem,
Yeah, there's a difference between support. Like some people are supportive and then some people are there for themselves. And there's a difference and you can see it. Being a plus one is like a really beautiful skill. And I would say I do possess it. When I go to SNL, I behave differently than if I was at like off the wagon. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
If I met Miley Cyrus outside of SNL, I would be on a watch list. I behaved because I'm at my friend's fucking job. I know I know how to be in the background. I know how to be supportive. I know how to go run an errand. I'll take care of that. Like I think it's a skill I possess. My best friend has that skill. Like,
listen, this was my whole theory on why Travis Kelce worked with Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
He's a tight end. Tight ends both block and score touchdowns. So like they know how to be both. They know how to like give themselves up for other people and also be the star, and when to do that. So this is in the similar vein. So this woman shows up in Vegas.
So then she's in the green room and like in the I had some stuff not go right for my half hour. It's fine. It's like, it's young, I'm sure in like 5 years I'll watch and be like, how cute. But like I learned a lot of lessons that made this hour better. It didn't go the way I wanted it. I wasn't feeling 100, and it's a big career moment. I'm trying to keep it together, but in my trailer, it's like all the Netflix execs, it's all my agents, it's everyone. And this bitch is drunk and trying to command the situation, bragging how she knows how to, talking about her stuff. And I am like, I am talking to the heads, like the people that booked me and the producers of this. Like, what is going on? Then we went to Big J's. She's doing the same thing, like domineering this room. But also it's not like in a cool thing. It's not like I brought Miley, like
right.
It's weird. And it's also our job. We just got off stage. We're with our teams. We're trying to celebrate. Like it was crazy. Then this is where the twist, and this is like the respect of like, why do you think I would take your side over these people that work here? These are my, like, I don't care if that's a door guy or a server. These are my colleagues. Like this is,
right. We work
this is
together.
Who I care about.
Right.
I'm not lying to a doorman for you. Are you fucking out of your mind? These are my people.
Right.
And so this is what happened because she had garbage and she goes, I'll just put this here. Someone will grab it. Yeah, that someone's the PA.
Yeah.
That's been here for days because we've shot intros for that. Like we were there for a few days. And then I'm trying to get her into the van. And I was like, oh, I asked production, there's room for you in the van. She goes, oh, you had to ask permission? And it's like, and then Dom tried to talk there and was bragging about knowing a comedian who the director of this series directed him in a movie, in his own movie. So it's like,
right.
You're out of your element.
You haven't, you're not connecting with reality.
Because you think you're better than these people.
Right.
That's what it is at the end of the day. You are not acknowledging that we all worked on a thing and it's our crew part. Like it's our moment. Like we just finished work. And so then she made me feel so uncomfortable when we got to the hotel for the quote unquote after party, which was us being in Vegas at a hotel casino. But I go, listen, you can't be here. She goes, are you asking me to leave? I go, you need to leave. I go,
have you spoken since then?
Yes. She texted, it's fine. I've seen her since. Like life is long. I saw her a few months ago. She came to a show. Like,
was she better? Did she get it?
No, but it's like different. She did. So this is what bothered me. She was just like, sorry, I didn't want to ruin like your Netflix after party. And it's like, it's not. I'm just with the PAs and the producers and the crew.
Right.
Like, I'm with the crew and you didn't know how to be a plus one. Because that's what I told her. I go, I don't think I can give you the energy you're looking for tonight.
Right.
Because the energy that I need is I'm about to go cry to my manager in my hotel room because I think I did a really bad job on the biggest thing that I've had in my career. And then I'm going to go down and like talk to the director and the people that I've worked with for 4 days. And you could have been a part of that. You could have been a part of it, talking with everyone, hanging, being cool, being supportive, being there for me. But you couldn't, because to you, it was this drunk vacation and you were disrespecting everyone on set that you think you're better than or that you're more important than. And that pisses me off.
To try and play the victim of like, I guess you're going to do your big Netflix thing. I'm just little old me. It's like, no, you
that's not me, bitch.
Right.
That's just not me. If there was shrimp cocktail and a big party, I would probably sneak you in. But I knew that you wanted my attention instead of being a part of this thing. And that's crazy.
Right.
That's crazy.
Okay, before we go.
No, I want to talk more. You always try to end this. Like
I know. I want to make sure that we put out an episode.
I sound so strict, like, but it's not strict. It's like I am a fun person. No, I would say I'm more of the looser people.
We just want people to act right, and we are highly sensitive to, and again, I always feel like I'm the one
so when we're
that's
texting our GM that's running around trying to get tickets, it's just like, get your fucking tickets, do it.
Right, just get your tickets. I mean, I've had this. I mean, people go, what time do you go on? I don't know.
But you also would never do, like, I'm probably going to go see this person on Broadway. Mm-hmm. I'm going to buy a ticket. I'm not going to say a word.
Right. Well, this is something people say the worst is when people go, well, how do I get tickets? And it's like, you've lived this long, like on Earth, like, and now you're asking me how to get tickets. That's you going, can I have a free ticket? Like, how do I get tickets on, like, is crazy. Like,
and I love the opposite. Someone messaged me being like, "Oh, I saw you're going to be in Philly." Someone I worked with who did makeup on something, and she's like, "I can't wait to see you." I go, "Great, I'll put you on the list. Let me know how many." She goes, "That's not why I messaged you." I go, "I didn't think that's why you did."
right? No. I'm the same way. I would do the same thing.
Yeah.
And then sometimes people are like, "You're right. You're in town." I go, "I got you. Would love to have you." And they're like, "I already got tickets." I'm like, "You did?" My brother's wife. Ruthie.
You know I'm a big Ruthie. I'm a Ruthie.
Ruthie's the best. I did shows in Batavia, Illinois. She's bringing the whole news, crew to the show. I go, "How many of you so I can get the tickets?" She goes, "We already bought." And I'm like, "You're buying? What are you doing?" Like I was like mad at her, but like that's what people who are appropriate do. Like that's called class. I mean, like you literally witnessed the other night when we went out to the bar, the classless, like.
But I think you could have done something about it too.
What could I have done? So to bring the listeners in,
I think you should. Okay, yeah. Why don't you bring it in?
I'm sitting with Liza and
time for Tiff Taff Friday.
This is Ticked Off Tuesday.
Yeah.
On Wednesday. I already talked about it on Patreon. I told the whole story about how we went to a bar on a Monday night. You, me.
And thank you for showing me that bar. I loved
great bar, the Spaniard. Shout out Spaniard people. If you live in the area, you're like, the Spaniard, it's all 23-year-olds. Great Sunday through Wednesday bar. We're there on a Monday. We're with two other friends of ours. So it's me with three women. And all of a sudden, I get a tap on my left shoulder, the other side of, like, Liza and the two other women on my right. And on the other side, I get a shoulder tap. And I look over. She goes, "Can I steal you for a second?" And I go, "Sure." Like it was like The Bachelor. And I go, and she's like, "Do you know who I am? Do you know me?" And I go, I'm like, "No, I don't." And they're like, they say their name and they explain a little bit. And I go, "I do know you. You have messaged me, and so is your mom, and so is your brother." And then she tries to basically sass me after approaching me about, "Oh, I don't listen to anything. I don't listen to your podcast." I'm like, which is fine. I don't need you to do. But also there's there's a thin line between.
You don't have to tell you.
Right. And then she goes, "Don't you?" And then she was at my show on her birthday and she's like, "You had an off night." And I go, "Well, I guess good luck with everything." And I go, and she goes, "Oh, you don't want a confident woman who tells you the truth?" And I'm like, "No, I don't. I don't want a confident. I want someone who's classy and polite. Like that'd be like a better move for me." And it's like, and I got closed on my tab because I'm like, I have to leave now. And I turned back to you and you guys were like, "What happened?" And so how could I have played it differently?
Well, she obviously fucked up because I was way more drunk that night than I think, because when I woke up the next morning, it was like, wait, Taco Bell? Wait, what? What the fuck is going on? So
you were high and drunk, and we were drinking. It wasn't yeah. There was drinks being had. They gave you a drink. You go, "I want this drink," and then they brought up the wrong drink. So we had a sidecar of whiskey that we were just passing around. Yeah, that was high proof whiskey. So it was things are foggy,
Yeah. So I think I kept talking about this, but I had just seen a Matthew McConaughey interview about meeting the night he met his wife. And he said he saw her from across the room and was like, "Oh my God." But he said, "I invited her and her friends. You got to invite the friends." Right. And to me, that's normal. And if she wanted to steal you, even on The Bachelor, it's not just you. It's, "Hey guys, I'm going to cut in," or "I want to talk to Jerry," And then with you, I think once it turned sour, you could have been like, "I'm with my friends," or "I feel weird. Right. I'm ignoring my friends." Because you did give this person a lot of time.
Well, there was a moment where I'm like, I'm on a date with her.
So then I didn't know, because I thought it was going well. I got no, because once you gave her that much attention, we all turned around, but I was being annoyed because I was like, what the fuck? If it is going well, it's "Oh, these are my friends." I'm like, I just don't know how you how this is happening. It
wasn't going well. I let it go too long. I agree. That's an out I didn't even think of. The whole time I'm like, how do I end this interaction? Like
I'm with my friends. You were with us, and one of the people are from out of town. You worked like it could have just been like this. You're being rude. Like you're being mean. I have friends here.
Right. Me being nice was also being rude. Like I guess me being nice to this person is kind of being rude to you guys.
For a little bit, but the vibe should always. But this happened. Like I've been this person that's been ignored, where like someone's trying to fuck my friend, and then they just start talking to my friend, and I'm just sitting here, and I'm like, in what world do you think you like the chances of you getting fucked are less if you include me in this conversation?
Right.
I don't know. And then the people, my girlfriends who have allowed it and aren't also put off by it, they're not really my friends for long. Like it's a weird thing, but I'm not a cock block, but it is just like if we're hanging out, I don't know how you can't ignore me.
Right.
It feels shitty and you're ruining my night. And then the friends that are obsessed with male attention in this way that fully give in, it's like, okay, then why would I hang out with you?
This is a big piece of advice.
Because you guys can still flirt. Like you guys can still flirt. You can exchange numbers. I can go to the bathroom. You could text me to be like, let me leave. Like, but
there's power in numbers. There's power in like, hey, like I always say to people, I'm like, if you're like going to a show and then you go out with your friends afterwards, like that's a group that I would want to hang out with. Like, hey, I'm with my friends. We're at this bar. We're having a blast. Like, come hang. That is like low pressure. That is like, no harm, no foul. My night's good with or without you. And I think when you include the friends, like that makes everyone there was a point where I was talking to this woman. I'm going, I am locked the fuck in. Like I am on a first date that I never agreed to. Yeah. And I'm letting this go because I'm like being polite, and her being impolite is like taking advantage of my politeness. But like, then I'm like, I should have just ended. What you said is right. Hey, my friends are here.
Fun. Yeah.
We were having a good time. And I was mad after. Like, I was like not happy.
But then you were really actually going to leave, and it's like, have another drink.
Right. Well, then my out was to close the tab. I go, let me get the tab. And then you guys are like, are you leaving? I was like, well, I'll have another drink. Like, you guys, like, get me a drink, like, let's.
Yeah, but I've told you this. You will, you'll go talk to a group of divorcees in a corner like that.
For hours about their exes.
Hours. And it's like, wait, where's Jared? We're supposed to be hanging out.
Enough, Jared. No. All right. Liza Treyger.
But you're out there. I don't know. Like maybe I should be doing that. Like I want to meet someone. It's like I really need.
You do go
help.
Out.
I do. So it's like I'm not chatty enough. It's like it's kind of like I can only be so strong. Like you can only be rejected for so many times than to be like, you know what? I'm like I can't do this.
You're not getting rejected though. I think you're taking not getting approached as rejection, and that's I think being hard on yourself.
No, I think No, I obviously don't give out what I think I'm giving out.
Right. You're because what you're saying is as if you're going up to people and going, "Hey, I'd like to go on a date with you," and they're going, "No."
I feel
but that's not what's happening. I think you're getting down on yourself in a way that is too hard. That's my takeaway. But
I've gotten some better outfits, and I'm thinking that'll help. Like I worked with a stylist. Blowouts.
I met my dream person when I started working with a stylist. Okay, everyone go watch the special. It's called Night Owl. It's fantastic.
I feel like I sounded so serious. This is what happens. It's like get off.
No,
my
I listen. This is where the conversation. It's Chit Chat Wednesday. We chit chatted. All right,
we are chit chatting.
Big chit chatters. Back next week. Boom.